second race of the second round of the playoffs. Ryan Blaney, saw him get out of position there a little bit as they come through the tri-oval. And again, a little uniqueness about this racetrack is the start-finish line. It is past the center of the tri-oval. So they're going through the tri-oval now as we get ready for them to go up through the gears and start the race here at Talladega. Green flag is out.
Green.
It's like a train coming up to speed as the engine churning out the horsepower to get these cars up to speed. Down the backstretch they go, 2 by 2.
It takes nearly a full lap to get to full speed. These engines are restricted down to 450 horsepower, so it takes a little bit of time to get some momentum. Very, very organized to start.
So many times we see manufacturers working together, Fords with Fords, Chevys with Chevys. Well, right now at the start of this race, you've got to dance whoever you have come with.
That's really where a crew chief can help. You know, the drivers can only really do so much. As a crew chief, you have to kind of put your driver in a position to find his teammates or find his manufacturers. Do that by how you pit, when you pit, how many tires you take. And already you see that pushing and shoving that Jeff and Dale talked about, and the bumpers and how they line up as we're on board with Denny Hamlin and the Coca-Cola Zero Sugar cameras. He gives Ryan Blaney a little shove.
Blaney takes that momentum, transfers it to the car just in front of him.
One in front of Ryan.
So you hear that information. That's Denny's spotter actually telling him what's in front of Ryan Blaney. So as you're pushing a car, not only do you want the information from behind, but you can't see, like pull up behind a car on the interstate, you can't see up in front. Well, these guys are doing that. They need to know how much room is in front of that 12 car so Hamlin doesn't push him right up into that bright colored 24 of William Byron.
Folks at home, Steve didn't just ask you to pull up this close.
I meant like if you were sitting in traffic. Like stopped in traffic, Rick.
Okay. Side by side, they stay for the lead. Again on the inside, it's Eric Almirola winning the pole yesterday. Joey Logano on the outside with a little help there from Kyle Larson.
And what you see right there in the 5 car, the second car on the outside, that blue car, those flaps that keep popping open on the hood, that's literally because of the air pressure change. So you see right there on the right side, the flap pops up. Those flaps are there so when cars spin, it vents the air out, trying to keep them on the ground. And the air pressure can be such a way in the draft where it literally has 0 air pressure holding the flap down. He's so tight in the draft, so the flap just opens right up. You would think that'd be distracting. It would distract me if I was driving.
I already see a third group starting to develop toward the back of the field. Daniel Suarez has got a few cars up on that high side now. A few more have jumped in front of him. I see Bowman. Looks like the 17 of Chris Buescher. They're making some good time up there. Expect to see a few more cars start to maybe jump in the front of this line. They want to go up here and get some track position.
Good line directly behind us, 48 clear out the front.
Riding along with Chris Buescher and the BuildSubmarines.com on board.
Close here, 48 still clear out the front.
That's one of those forward noses we talked about in the pre-race. They push really aggressively. As opposed to the Chevrolets and the Toyotas, they can shove, they can push as well, but just got to be careful in the transitions to the corner.
Denny Hamlin in that green car this week. He jumped up into that outside lane trying to be the first car leading it. Saw it coming, saw the run coming, moved up in front of Alex Bowman. And now the guys in that second lane, they're looking to see if it's going to gain momentum. If it is, they want to be the first one leading. There you go. There's Riley Herbst making a move up there to get in front of Denny.
As soon as he does that, he has to hope he made the right move because the 24 Byron fills the gap that he leaves on that middle lane. So that's a commitment you make. You don't get to undo that choice once you pull out of line. See if Herbst can take that. Look at the car moving around a little bit, Jeff. Not really expect to see a lot of handling issues. Well, the car is difficult to drive, but he's dancing around a little bit.
And if I'm Denny Hamlin, I don't race with Riley Herbst that often. I don't know how much I can push him. I don't have a complete comfort level. Nothing against Riley, but you just don't spend time with him. And so Riley is going to have to fight that all day. He's going to have to prove to everybody that I belong here. You can push me. It's going to be okay if you do. Denny's the first guy that's really giving him a shot.
Well, Jeff, nobody in this field has raced that much with Riley Herbst. This is only his 4th Cup Series start ever. And so the 24-year-old out of Las Vegas is spending some time up front here. Has a big push on that bottom line. Gets Eric Almirola pushed out to 2, maybe 3 car length of the lead.
They're going to come up on the back of that car really quickly. So I think the best thing to do in this particular point is to stay on that inside line. If the 10 car of Almirola gets shoved way out there, if you move up the racetrack, you put yourself in a bad situation. A lot of shoving going around, cars getting uncomfortable there. If you get shoved way out far, you can force that bottom groove to push you because they can't go under you. That's out of bounds, right? You use that out of bounds line actually to your advantage sometimes.
Certain lanes making some ground up. Little bit by little bit, they keep gaining. Hamlin, a little bit of pop right there in the rear bumper. Trying to give him some momentum getting into the corner.
Still wide open in front up here.
If you're Riley Herbst, how much anxiety do you have right now being pushed by Denny Hamlin, a 51-time winner at the Cup Series, and he's trying to push you to the lead at Talladega?
No anxiety at all. You're actually feeling like you're in pretty good hands. But if you move up too high right there, Denny could have went to the middle. Almost thought about it. It looked like if you're Herbst, you got to be careful where you're running and be a little more defensive. Force Denny to push you. Don't give Denny options, right, to leave you out of the draft. And Denny cannot help you through the tri-oval if you're offset to the right really far. So not much Denny could do there, but here they come down the back straightaway. A good shove from this 11 car.
We're starting to see blocking already. The 22 and the 5 have dropped down to that low line. And it's Joey Logano who's leading here at Talladega.